Welcome back, let's play Hot Wheels World Race to the GBA. Robots roll today. Robot team that may or may not have accepted a single human member. Oh jeez. Okay, now it's both the cars and the background that are flashing, not just one or the other. Okay, things are getting a bit more dire here. Almost okay. I mean, I ended up getting weird as I landed, but I still thought it looked okay when I landed. Of course, my vision is kind of messed up with how noisy everything is in this level half the time anyways. I hope this place, assuming that it has an analog in the console version, which it probably does, considering this is apparently of plot significance. Not that that game actually has a plot, apparently. But even so, I hope this place looks a lot better in the console version. If there's the kind of stunt that I have figured out how to do, I haven't seen anybody do it the kind of stunt, so I'm guessing not. But the software actually took some effort to figure out. I think I only managed to figure out that it was there because I kept trying after seeing somebody else do it or something like that. Shoot. I do like the transparency effect and everything. It's just the ground, quote unquote, the icy stuff in the water. Alright though. Yeah, so I'll have to give some serious consideration to how Metacog might reappear if ever. I just have to like randomly assign him to a car. But probably be like especially random, unless I assign him to a car that also was in the GBA version of Velocity X, which could happen. I mean, the idea of race killing drifting around Storm is I also just went with just add more mines to the pile, or whatever those are. They slow you down, they don't seem to explode. But yeah, Race Cam and Drifting Around Storm are just plucked from cars in their respective game. Whoop. So you probably do something similar with Metacog. Although that's also usually the pool that I'm using for Gearhead, so I might have to just see if I can, if there are ever two cars in that same game, or something like that. I always did wish, actually, speaking of Metacog, since I haven't really talked much about him himself, for some reason I kind of wanted, I know it's pretty obvious why I would want this actually, but I did kind of want, for some reason I wonder if I felt like there was like a big implication that might actually happen or what. Like I'd wanted there to be some large amount of focus on Metacog in Velocity X GBA. I think part was I was just weirded out by the ending where Metacog just kind of freaks out and like literally nothing else happens. Anyways, look at that, actually smashing competition pretty seriously. Wow. I actually don't recognize which car is Slingshot on here. I really can't tell. It's either the second or in fifth. I guess this one in fifth because that's on the fifth color scheme. Look at that, Alex Peak Slingshot. Nemesis. Wonderful. Yay. Okay, so that being done. So we actually do have another league to jump right into this time though, instead of having to worry about time trial. So who are we working with today? So we're going to start out with Switchback. Nice, I haven't seen Switchback in the longest time. More veterans. So I have everything except for, you have only handling. It seems that's going to be tough. It's basically the rookie equivalent of Alex, which might be difficult to use. But at the same time, better handling for a rookie? I can't really pass that up. Might not be best though. And then who's this? Backdraft. I believe that's new, actually. Who calls it Corporation Scrim? Anyways. Let's see what Switchback can do. See if it can actually turn well compared to the others. I should turn well compared to muscle tone. This one should. We'll see if it loses controls easily. I think through the combination of having low speed and good handling, it feels like you actually... See, I think if you turn for a really long time, you might eventually lose control. Because you heard the tires... You know, all messed up from out there. I don't know though, it doesn't... So you hear the tires sliding on the ground and all that, but I'm yet to actually feel any loss of control whatsoever. So far, it just feels like I'm turning, like I'm driving a slow car that turns slowly, but it still holds control. So it might be that this car actually, despite its bad speed and all that, and acceleration too. It's kind of weird actually. Usually the heavier cars, at least going off the Stunt Track Challenge standards, which would also include this car in particular, usually they have higher top speed, despite the lower acceleration. Just heavier. Not quite this one though. I don't know if they tend to have better handling or not though, now that I think about it. I'm not quite remember. But hey, hooray for the Stunt Track Challenge veterans. Always stealing the show. Although Switchback never really got much of any attention. Not exactly fan favorite as far as I can tell. Regardless. There you go. There is the temptation, I have to admit, to call Muscle Tone Metacog, talking about Metacog again. Although, I don't know how well that would fit into everything else that has been done, because I'm recalling that Muscle Tone really has only been in one game though, hasn't it? Before this one that I played. I'm not sure, but also wouldn't appear again, so I'd only be arbitrarily calling the one car Metacog in this one game. But would fit, wouldn't it? Otherwise it could be XD3 in some capacity. But again, I think a human racer actually does work regardless. Yeah. So now the beasts will probably be in first when they start. Let's talk about dimensions. I want to see the road beasts. I don't actually remember if road beasts were the ones that had ballistic or not. I'm guessing they were. I don't have all the cars for all the teams memorized. And it's pretty easy with Wave Rippers, considering that they at least have a pretty consistent color scheme. I won't really say that their last car, their elite car, is especially thematic for them, but Switchback and UR2 most definitely are. And they even have surfboards on them, the both of them. Can't really get much more thematic for them than that. Yeah, I'll have to say, like, if you're going to be playing as any rookie car, I'd love to be this one. And that lower speed actually really doesn't matter that much, this car doesn't feel like. Because the thing is, with the elite cars, if you have low speed, then that's actually a pretty huge deal, since regardless of what your handling is, for example, if you're playing as Alex, regardless of what your handling is, you can still get through races or through the track without too much of a problem, without running into too much stuff or anything. As we saw with what do we call it, with Slingshot. But in this league, with these cars, normally your handling is so bad that it actually is seriously difficult to make turns without constantly ramming into walls and or losing control of the car and then losing all speed as a result. So this car actually being able to not ever lose control and actually, by and large, not hit walls is actually a huge deal. So I'm virtually not hitting walls in the slightest at all, ever, with this car, which I think is actually a first. I don't think that's happened to any cars in this entire playthrough. I saw modes like this one, and it still turns slowly. I never have to worry, for example, about whether I should turn hard to try to make a turn, not risk losing control, which would be at least as bad, or just not turn as hard and let myself hit the wall. To avoid losing control. don't know if I've ever done like a perfect lap where I don't hit the wall or anything, but still. Way ahead of everyone. And just one more race. Wonderful. Lava. This is not a trademark character, I'm noticing. Ricky. Interesting names, these lot. Oh, see, this time it's just the cars that are flashing. So you get further away, you're no longer in such close proximity to the Elite League, and all of a sudden there's still distortion, but there's not quite as much. Like, notice, like, we don't even see, like, the whole world messing up or anything, like we do in some other cases. You don't see the entire screen flashing with corrupted bits of images or whatever. Jumping right into a turn is kind of cool. Of course, I've already mentioned so many times, if you manage to saucer into a correctly attack, you're not problem at all. That does take a good deal of skill to do. I certainly haven't gotten it down. For Switchback should have at least some tricking experience, being another past contestant of Stunt Track Challenge. Screen does flash a little bit. I don't know if it's supposed to flash whenever you just stunt like that or not. I don't think so, because it didn't splash that time. Yeah, because there's no lot of screen corruption going on here. There's nowhere near as much. Ah, I didn't realize I had the power up. I meant to boost from there instead. Because that really wouldn't have been too bad aside from not getting boost from that. I didn't necessarily have to do that turn that hard of saucer. I could have actually done it more gently to also get boost. It worked out, I think. I love how this game has a tendency to put a bunch of boosts right next to each other. It's really satisfying with all of them. And also kind of frustrating sometimes when you pass up literally every single one in a row. But still. Kind of a yin and yang type of thing. You can have the good without the bad. In any case, we're about done here. I'm not gonna try again. There's no more attempt left. Final lap, and I'm quite satisfied with how it turned out regardless. Okay. Wonderful. Man, I really got far ahead of those guys. Jeez. Man, look at that. I crushed Ballistic. I mean, I do consider this to be the best rookie car by far right now. But man, wow. Yay. That's gonna be it for episode 2. I do want to unlock the next car. I kind of want to challenge and unlock Vert, but we don't have time for that right now, so that's just kind of it for this episode. Let's play Hot Wheels Road Race for the GBA. I'll see you guys next episode, when we, face and presumably unlock Vert. And then we start his veteran competition with, in fact, a veteran, in more ways than one. A very veteran racer in a variety of ways. Not quite the same way as, like, Alex, I guess. Not. Whatever. In any case, see you then, guys. Oh no! Demo play!